Hello Lego friends, Matt from Brooks here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at even more mechs that I've been working on for the space stuff. Stay tuned, find out. Alright, this next part of the video I'm actually using my streaming equipment through OBS to record the video, as I figured this would be a little easier than me holding my phone and trying to manipulate the mechs that I want to share with you in the video here. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start with the first mech. For these, I actually used the Lego City Space Mech that came either solo or in that special 3-in-1 set with another one of the spaceships and the space bike. Now, the mech in and of itself isn't too bad, but it's made obviously to be a play toy as opposed to an actual realistic looking one. I wanted to change that up. So it happens I got 3 of them, so I did different mods for each of the 3. We'll start with this one, since this one conforms to kind of what the spirit of the original was most like. One of the first things I did was change the leg structure on these to be a lot more articulating. So the ankle joint can move, the knee joint can move, and the leg joint all can move. So these are very flexible. As you can see here, a lot of different things can move around. And my inspiration for doing things this way comes from the fact I have built a few basic level EG and HD Gundam kits in the last couple years at this point. So I have a little bit more of an understanding of what these things kind of should be able to do and the poses they should be able to make. So I mean, this thing can kick up like this, the leg can kick back like this. I mean, they should be able to do all kinds of wacky stuff because of multiple jointed areas here. Now, the base model just had this this very simple Technic bar piece that would just pop in and out with a little battering ram on the front of it. That was a play feature, and the other side just had a little arm where it had some fingers for grabbing purposes. I didn't like that. I didn't think it was enough. So with this one, what I did was, in the spirit of kind of the originals, I think what the intention of the city line is doing is to have them being like miner style stuff, because they're looking for the crystals to fuel their power sources, which are like these guys on the back here. So all the mechs I did in the spirit of this type of build all have a drilling arm on the left hand side. It's not much, but it does have a little bit of articulation here from the back of the mech and kind of at the elbow, so to speak, and then this can go up and down. It's obviously not completely practical. You have to bend down and drill into things, but for the spirit of what it is, I think it works. And then when they're done, they can fold back up. I kept the base features of the lights here, as well as the actual roll cage around the pilot. I did add in this additional feature of a windscreen piece in front with a little control panel. And then around the sides here as well, using some of these little Technic arm pieces, just to give a little bit more of a real mech kind of look as opposed to having a very open cockpit. The other side, I kept the spirit of the battering ram intact, and I actually used a real Technic shock absorber piece. I beefed up this side here. This can move out a little bit, but the idea is that this can go up and down. It doesn't have any kind of friction to keep it at an angle, but the intention is that it can turn around like this, and this part will come up, and the best part of this is the fact that it's a spring-loaded thing, so it will actually kind of do this action of going back and forth like that. Now again, I won't be playing with this. It's going to be used for a scene, most likely, and having it, showing it's doing stuff, so it could be in there, it could be like having this against like a rock or something, pulverizing it, and when it's done, it will fold back up into place like this. The back side of the mech I kept as is. There's nothing different here. Battery packs are in there. Little jet pack for moving around. I just changed a couple colors on the bottom parts of the feet, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I'm happy with this. And let's move on to the next one. In this next one here, similar style to the first one that I shared, except the only change to this one is the right hand side attachment. And in this one, we have a saw. Because it seems practical that once you you bash some stuff out, you might have to cut it even more. So this one, simple build here. Didn't have grays in this this Technic piece to use. Didn't have a gray one of this gear piece, but the spirit is that this is a saw, right? So this can come down. It doesn't stick, unfortunately, because again, there's not friction piece in there to hold it. But the idea is that this can come down and be used to, you know, saw some stuff. Now it's stationary in here because of what I have it attached to, but that's okay for the moment. But once it's done, it can be folded back up, and the mech can be moved on to elsewhere to be used. It does have some articulation from the shoulder attachment to the elbow joint as well, so this can move around a little bit more than the battering ram piece. As you can see, it's not perfectly stable. It's more the spirit of the build that I was going for, but I like how it just kind of folds up neatly once it's done. On this side, we got the drill, same as the first one, same kind of attachment and everything. Everything else about this is the same as the previous one. From the back, I tried to keep them all basically like they're the same model, with just different attachments and different tools. So that's the second one. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, and the final one of this set is this. Again, I won't go on in this section here about the uniqueness of this. Most everything here is the same, except for the attachment of the tool on the right-hand side here. And this one is, I will have to give credit where it's due. This is, the design of this was inspired by Jang Bricks. He built a number of mechs a while back, and a couple of them had laser guns on them, or lasers. So I did something similar to that. The idea for this came from one of the folks in my chat. So I took that idea and I used the premise of Jang's build with some modifications to create this laser build here. So you can see, I'm horrible with doing this from the side here as I look at my screen. You can kind of see how the laser is structured. A couple different laser guns here, whatever. The main feature is that there is a large, power cable connected to a separate power pack here on the side. And then I did modify the back to make this work a little bit better, so that the battery power packs for the mech itself are right here. They're not kind of going off in the angles. And at some point, there's always a chance I could modify the other mechs to do a similar setup. But for now, this actually worked well for this. But otherwise, everything here is pretty much the same as the other ones. So in a nutshell, those are the mechs. Alright, and there you have it. Those are my 3 mech builds, or I should say mods, based on the Lego City Space Mech build from 2024. Very practical. I think that they work well. The leg articulation is a lot better. The core body structure is more refined, just a little bit built up, a little bit beefier. They all have the drilling tool, which I think works really well, and then they all have their own secondary tool, which I think is really important to kind of distinguish these guys. They all can be used in a scene or separate scenes, not to do different things. So I think that's really cool. I hope you enjoyed the look at my mech builds here. Definitely more to come. I'm all about the space stuff right now, so you're going to be seeing a lot more videos on this stuff as we go along here. As always, I build all this great stuff over live on my Twitch channel, @BrooksBricks. I hope you come and check a look at that. We have a great community, we have lots of fun there. And if you haven't, be sure to subscribe here as well. Hit that like button, notification bell, comment, thought below, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. Until next time, see you, bye!